And now a story about family and fame, rap music, and crack cocaine. You can find plenty of critics who say rap is a scourge that only glamorizes the worst elements of urban society. And you can find plenty of defenders who say it is simply an art form, recognizing real life in the street. The way Scorsese tells gangster stories on film, rappers tell their version over beats. But it is rare to find these 2 points of view in men born of the same blood. Once there were 2 brothers, Gene and Terrence, and they were similar in every way.
The pressure was it was about having things. It was about greed. It was about drugs. It was about having money.
Both had a skill for selling rock cocaine.
I come home like $700
At 15.
at 15.
I was just assuming you keep the coke moving, but I got one question. Y'all been doing?
And both had a skill for rapping about selling rock cocaine. And that combination made them millionaires. When did you know you had made it?
Man, the MTV Awards.
MTV VMAs.
Ladies and gentlemen, clips. Ma, what you wanna do? I'm in front of you.
We were featured on a song with Justin Timberlake called Like I Love You.
I was like, wait a minute. I'm on the MTV Awards. Like, people are calling me behind this.
Yeah, that was huge.
That must have been a high that night, huh?
Man,
Coming off.
Can you listen? I think about it too much, I might get high. I might get high right now.
There are a lot of highs in this business. And one thing I come to find out is that you're always searching for that next high.
But just as they were about to explode into superstar status, one of the brothers made the stunning choice to walk away.
And I came to him and I was like, man, I got these ideas. I got these beats. You know, I want you to check out. And he was like, I'm not doing another Clipse album right now. Wow. Now that was hard. That was hard.
That's the house we grew up in right here.
Oh, this one here?
Yeah.
It all began in this middle-class neighborhood in Virginia Beach, where they had a good childhood. Loving mom and dad, nice pool out back. But a couple neighborhoods over, friends were proving there was real money to be made.
I mean, to see guys in high school with crazy cars and candy paint, and it was just astonishing to me. I was like, there's no way I'm gonna know everybody and they're getting money and I'm not gonna get that.
And when did you understand how they were getting that money?
Oh, instantly.
How did it work? What was the business? What was your job? This was all rock cocaine, right? This is all crack.
Hold on, I'm not comfortable with all of that.
No?
Yeah, I'm not.
Why not? You talk about it.
Yeah,
it's part
but
of your testimony.
You know,
right?
you're absolutely right. Hold on, give me a second, cause I'm getting flustered.
Okay,
right
that's
now,
cool.
Right now.
I mean, why dance around it?
You're right, but this is CNN. You know.
But people got to appreciate the journey. I mean, it's. I don't think you're going to get in trouble for talking about youthful indiscretions.
That's right. Come on, let's go.
Okay.
Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Bill Ware. That's what's up.
I mean, you know, speak the truth. What was it? What were you doing? You got.
Well, you know, just like you know, any young kid growing up, in especially in the hood, you know, just wanting to have money. I remember serving one of my people, and the kids were asking their mom for food, and she told them that she didn't have any money, yet I knew the transaction that we had just made.
She was giving their food money to you.
Yeah, she was.
To buy a rock or two, right?
Yeah, she absolutely was. She absolutely was.
And that, you understood that.
I understood it. I understood it. What kept ringing in my head was, they're gonna get it from somewhere, so I might as well be the one to get it. Because if I don't do it, somebody else is gonna get that money.
Did you ever get arrested?
Never. 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 Never.
Is that luck or smarts, or both?
Man, I think it has a lot to do with smarts.
From ghetto to ghetto, the backyard to yard, I sell it whip on whip. It's off the hard, I'm the neighborhood pusher. Call me subwoofer, cause I pump bass like that, Jack.
Gene would teach Terrence how to turn their life outside on those streets into rhymes and hooks, which eventually caught the ear of a friend named Pharrell.
Come on with it. Star Trek. Gives us haters.
Pharrell made the suggestion, like, yo, you know, maybe I should be a group, man. Like, that'd be dope. You don't like writing 3 whole verses anyway. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, tell my brother that. So that split the work in half. It made it faster.
So Terrence became Pusha T, and Gene became Malice. And together as Clipse, they quickly became the new favorites of hip-hop Illuminati. First album, huge. And soon they were opening for all the big names.
We did 50 Cent, we did the Black Eyed Peas, Jay-Z, Nelly, NERD, like...
Kid on a scooter comes up to you and says, I'm a huge fan. Turns out to be Kanye West.
Kanye West, you know.
American dream, baby. Cash and cars and backstage girls. But for Gene, the more they got, the emptier he felt.
I was Porsche, no shirt, big chain, pulling up at the light. You know, you didn't want your girl looking over at me at the light. You didn't want that. You know what I'm saying? And that's what people saw. But at the end of the day, I personally felt misery.
And when we come back, I'll tell you why Malice felt so miserable, the drastic steps he did to fix it, and how that choice changed their fortunes for better and worse.
Sometimes you'll try something and you're not sure if it's good, and you're basically listening for opinions and what people think about, but not me, not with rapping. Like, if you didn't like my rap, I thought something was wrong with you.
As they moved from pushing crack to selling rap, the Thornton brothers were never short on self-confidence. And as Clipse became hip-hop's first big sibling act, the money and the girls, the whole lifestyle, should have been the delicious spoils of their talent. But for the older brother Gene, better known as Malice, it just made him miserable.
It was more than just feeling dirty about it. You don't just feel dirty for no reason. Because if it was good, then I wouldn't feel dirty about it, you know?
See, through their rise, Gene was married to his high school sweetheart, and caving to the temptations of the road filled him with guilt and fear that this lifestyle could kill him. So in a moment of despair, he turned to his Bible and rekindled a long-dormant faith.
Some people call it a come to Jesus moment, but this is real transformation. When I think about my infidelities, you know, out on the road being a married man, when I think about the heartbreak that I caused my wife, that I caused myself, when I think about her forgiveness, how the Word of God repaired us and nothing else, when I think about that, to me, it's a no-brainer. I can't return to that lifestyle in that kind of way. I don't have a choice.
But for Clipse, that choice could not have come at a worse time. The 10th anniversary of their first album was coming up. Fans were clamoring for a tour. But Malice told his little brother he couldn't rap about cocaine anymore, couldn't spit curse words anymore.
I want to say somewhere from 25 to 30 shows that people just who wanted us to do it come to the city and perform the whole album in its entirety. And he wasn't interested at all. So that's when I knew it was real.
He picked Jesus over you.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did.
And then Yeezus, better known as Kanye West, picked him. His rap on the epic single Runaway was part of a solo career explosion, complete with all the perks. Let's go over here. Like, is this what your closet looks like?
For sure.
Yeah, you've got...
My closet definitely looks like this. Hardcore. Still selling vintage bathing ape. Still, like, I mean, this right here is...
$124.
I mean, you know, that's what you're paying
Somebody
for.
should rap about that. He has high-end fashion boutiques and a clothing line.
Young enough to still sell dope, but old enough that I knows better. When they saying it's 42 for that white powder, I knows better.
When he's not appearing on The Tonight Show, he's consulting for the popular urban magazine Mass Appeal.
I'm an investor. I'm also, you know, I bring ideas and projects. We're working on a sneaker movie.
South by Southwest, we love you.
South by Southwest. Like every year we do something at South by Southwest.
Yeah.
There's tons of things. And I think that, you know, being a bright businessman is like, man, that's way cooler than any chain. Way cooler than any watch. Way cooler than any car.
That reputation. That,
For sure.
yeah.
Being on CNN. It's way cooler. Listen to me, let me tell you something. Being on CNN is way cooler than any watch, any chain,
Tell your friends.
any car. You know? That's true.
I'm from Virginia, where ain't to do but cook.
But here's the uncomfortable question. Could Pusha T have all this without glamorizing the most destructive parts of urban America? Would he still be a hero if his name wasn't Pusha? But you know there's kids growing up in this neighborhood who see you as the American dream.
Yeah.
And part of your rise up that ladder was dealing coke for however long until you get that record contract, right?
Right.
But is that healthy? I mean, is that sustainable for generation after generation?
I personally, like, man, I came up on the same music. You know what I'm saying? I came up on the same music, and I can say to this day, music has never made me do anything. Music itself has never made me do anything.
I guess my point is, if you hadn't dealt coke,
Yeah.
you probably wouldn't have this car, you wouldn't have your clothing line, right? That's part of the whole mystique.
Nah,
No?
if I wasn't a great rapper, I wouldn't have this car, and I wouldn't have this clothing line.
Okay.
I'm a great rapper first.
Excuse me if my wealth got me full of myself. Cocky, something that I just can't help.
But when his brother looks back on their music and revisits a spot they used to push crack, he has a much different take.
I feel like hip hop personally is the only genre that eats its babies. Now, you can take a white kid or the white generation, they're enjoying hip hop, eating it up and paying for it and loving it. But they're not killing each other.
He changed his stage name from Malice to No Malice, and now raps about redemption.
My older brother was my hero till he started dope. Wish I could have stopped his very first line of coke.
Even he's not sure what to call this. Is it Christian rap? Is it gospel?
All I know is that my music that I put out, you know, it was just no cursing in it, you know. So I guess if I ain't cursing or killing somebody, no one wants to call it rap anymore. Hey, we stumbled on something right there.
But no denying, the crowds and the paychecks are much smaller. There's no temptation at all to get back out there? A Clips
Brother,
reunion would be
brother,
massive.
brother.
The money you could make and the...
Brother, that money at one time was out for my life. They can't invent a dollar amount to get me out there to tell, look at what's at stake. I can't tell anybody anything about selling drugs anymore. I can't even make it look cool anymore. There are people that are dying. Look at what's going on in Chicago. And like I said earlier, your race can enjoy it and laugh and joke and enjoy it and then get back to business. I have a message and I have to share it. I have to share it. Then after that, you do what you want with it. You know, you do what you want with it. But I've got enough blood on my hands. Enough.
What an amazing story. But do you have a hunch, maybe deep down, that the Clips will get back together in some form someday? What would have to happen for that to happen?
I don't have a hunch, but I hope and pray that happens. I hope and pray that happens in one way or another.
Pusha T and No Malice are still close, respect each other, but neither has tried to convert the other to his own point of view. I want to thank them both for all that access and honesty, and I'd love to hear what you think of this piece and whether you have any other stories I should tell just like it. I'm on Twitter @BillWeirCNN.